Well, hi there, everyone. It's John and Tim from Bethel Whitchurch, if you know us in person, or Bethel Live, if you know us online. And we thought we'd grab a coffee today and just fill you in with some stuff that is coming up. Tim's just going to prove he has actually got a coffee there. I can also confirm I have coffee here. Big mug, good big morning mug. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff coming up. We just thought it'd be great to chat it through. If you want to grab your calendar app and stick these things straight in as we're talking, that would be ideal. But I guess more than the actual dates, it's just nice to chat through what we're thinking, where the heartbeat is, and how you can get involved. So that's what we thought we'd do today. So we were trying to come up with a name for it. Tim, I think your suggestion was Poddy
Podcast.
Poddy Podcast. I went for coffee with
Poddy McPodcast. Poddy McPodcast.
Face.
Yeah, face.
Yeah. I was going to go for coffee with Tim and John because, we often put out updates videos, but updates doesn't sound that exciting, does it?
And once you get past like the first two updates, it's like, why are you updating?
Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
It's like a Windows update. Do you really want to?
There could be problems down the line.
So just consider this a security update.
I should also let people know as well, we have the window cleaner here right now, and the dogs love the window cleaner. They absolutely love him. It's the best part of their months, so there may be a little bit of interaction. And as soon as I said that, they've gone quiet. Maybe I should just mention them.
Just mention them. They just appreciate to be part of it, John.
They get very shy then and retiring. So yeah, Tim, not yesterday, when was it? Sunday was the All Together service.
Yeah, it feels like yesterday because we had a bank holiday, John. I didn't realise there was a bank holiday, but yeah, on Sunday, that was fun.
When you say you didn't realise, did you show up on Monday?
No, I genuinely didn't realise until like the Saturday that there was a bank holiday on the Monday. So like we had nothing planned. Yale was working. Yeah, it was just all over the place.
That's a good sign that you're not counting down the days till your next day off. That's got to be a good sign.
No, generally it's like you count down the days to the next Sunday. Really,
it's always a Sunday coming. We've been doing the Promise Keeper series, which it's kind of your baby, really. That was your idea, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I had the idea a while back because we'd started before lockdown. We'd started a little series, the Story Maker series, and I don't think we really got to finish that one, but maybe we'll come back to it another time. And I was like, well, we're back in this now. We're back into the swing of all-togethers and things like that. And I like getting into a nice meaty subject. And it just came that like God makes promises throughout the Bible and kind of, understanding how these work for those people. Yeah. But also with the Bible, it's always, how does it like teach us? How do we learn from their promises and how they kept them or how they understood them? And how does it help us? So it's been really exciting, actually. I've really relished like looking at these stories, and especially the challenge of taking like massive stories like Moses and Abraham and then condensing them down to like 10-15 minutes on a Sunday morning. It's hard. It's really hard, especially now we're getting into like we did Joshua last month, we got David next month, and then Solomon the month after, and like these are characters in the Bible where so much is written about them, and like picking out that one moment where God promises something to them and then understanding how that unfolds for them in their lives, it's really enjoyable. But it's almost like I wish there was another way of us to share all the extra stuff that you learn,
the cutting room floor. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like, because there's so much like Noah, like understanding all of the ins and outs of like how he built the boat and the measurements and all of the like everything like that. And there was like other things as well that I think like when I'd find them out, I'd come and see you in the office and be like, Melchizedek, what's up with that guy? And it's just amazing to kind of like understand these moments in the Bible and understand how important they are for us.
And like you were saying, these are promises from God, and that is such a precious thing. Even that God makes promises to us, and then you look at the content of the promises, and it's a beautiful thing. And what's nice is that this theme of promises is a kind of a way of wrapping up the whole story. It all fits within that theme of the God of promise. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's going to be really exciting, and I love the fact that when we started planning it out, and then we lined it up, it all lined up so that we actually fell on Mary at Christmas. That was just, I was like, well, this is meant to happen,
I mean, if you're going to fall on Mary, it should be at Christmas, definitely.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, it's just I just find it really exciting,
Mm.
and I've relished it just for even if it's just for me. I've said to a few people like when they've said after the services, that something was new for them, or
Mm. Mm.
I think Mary Lawson came up after the service and said about when we did Moses, the understanding that I'd taken that the plagues are kind of linked with God stripping back
Yeah,
the gods of
yeah,
Egypt and
yeah,
basically saying, "Look, these are your gods, but this is what my God can do." Woof,
yeah, yeah.
and it just like slowly, methodically, just like strips them back, and I'd never seen that before. I'd never
Mm.
understood that before, and then when I did, I was like, "Wow, this is a." I mean, we were meant. It was meant to show that God was mighty,
Yeah, yeah,
and it did.
yeah.
It did. And I was like, well, how does that apply to our lives? Like God is
Mm.
mightier than the things that we face, and he strips
The
them back
gods of
into
our
them.
world, absolutely. Yeah,
Exactly. So
yeah.
yeah, no, it's I've just really relished. Even if other people aren't getting it, I know that I'm getting
Uh,
fed from it. So it's
no,
been
definitely, mate. And I know from last Sunday, it was really lovely to have Joe and Mary come and share.
oh
And I love that because the church functions in a unique way that the older generation have that experience. If Joe and Mary don't mind me describing them as the older generation, but they have that experience in God. They have that story, that history in God. And when they open that up for us and share, there's just so much life in that. There's just so much truth. And yeah, it was great. It was really, really good. So thank you, older
no worries.
generation, for teaching us. And thank
Yeah,
you.
really good.
The trouble is that if you and I start talking Bible stories and Bible themes, this will be an epically long.
This would be. I realised halfway through what I was saying that this could go on for a while. But yeah, needless to say, we've got David Solomon, and I think the promise of our heart, and then Mary as well. So we've got a good few months of it now, but it's exciting. I'm enjoying it.
It is really exciting. So talking about Sundays,
Yes.
we've got a special Sunday in a few weeks' time. It's Back to Church Sunday on the 18th of September, and that's for anybody that hasn't been able to come to church for a while for a whole host of reasons. We just want people to know that we miss them, that we're not sat there judging them. It's been a real tough season for us all, but we want to just throw the doors open. And so whether you've been part of our church or another church or an online experience of church or no church, that it's just, I mean, you're welcome any Sunday, but that's just a day when we want to say to everyone, you're welcome, you're invited. So for those of us in church, we're handing out some invites on this coming Sunday and next Sunday. And the whole idea is that we can personalize them. So rather than just do a mass leaflet drop of our community, which we do at other times of the year, we thought it'd be really lovely just to think and pray as individuals about which 1, 2, 3 people we want to invite back to church. So hopefully that's on your minds, on your hearts, and your prayers. But the invites are coming out this Sunday, so
Excellent.
super excited about that.
That's really good. And don't forget, invite families as well. The kids work and the youth work will happily take any kids and youth who turn up that morning. We'll structure the teaching on that morning to especially be accessible to people if it's the first time to church or if it's first time back to church and things like that. We'll make sure it's a special morning.
Mm. And so in the run up to it, so this Sunday and next, it's really on my heart to look at this whole thing. I don't think Jesus walked around thinking, who can I invite into the kingdom? I don't think it was an effort. I think there was this overflow of love for people. And I think what we see in Jesus is an inviting life. And so that's what we're going to be looking at on the next 2 Sundays. How do I move from, right, how do I get into mission mode to a place where my life is just open, and my the grace that God has given me and the love and the truth that's in me is just open for others to see.
That's interesting, because I don't think, because the thought comes to mind of like the woman at the well. I don't think Jesus approached that situation thinking, oh, if I speak to this person, it will be mission and she will go off. I think he just genuinely just wanted to chat.
And it certainly wasn't him going, wait a minute, there's a well and there's water. We could talk about worship. No, absolutely.
He was there with that person in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So and I know children and youth stuff's all kicking back off this week, next week. Where are we?
So teens on Sunday will be back this week, and obviously Bethel Kids has been going on through the summer, so that's fine. And then teens on Tuesday will be starting back on the 6th of September. So that's 7 o'clock to 8:15 on a Tuesday night. So 6th of September, 7 till 8:15 on a Tuesday night. It would just be going back into the usual fare of lots of games, lots of teaching, lots of just time of fellowship together, and just adjusting myself. Sorry. Lots of time together just as a group. It's been amazing because I've got some of the photos of like some of the activities that we've done last year up on the wall, and they've made me the last one just there. They've made me smile just to see the amount of kids that have come through that group, and obviously a lot of them have gone through change in going up to high schools and things like that. So it'll be exciting to see. And encourage and just be with them as they make that transition up to a high school and things. And we've got younger kids coming in at the bottom as well. So it's going to be fun. Great to see that.
All change, absolutely. That's great. The other thing that I'm super excited about, which starts this Sunday, is the Bless group. This time last year, I guess it was, or maybe even before, we were kind of thinking and praying about, we've had to take the church apart and work out how to do certain things online. And there's this unique season that we're kind of still in, kind of coming out of, where we're piecing things back together. And it would be really easy just to allow the sort of the rubber band effect of normal just to snap us back to everything we were doing. But what is church and what does it mean to be church? And one of the things that really is a real passion of mine is discipleship. And Jesus tells us, go into all the world, all nations, and make disciples. And sometimes we've sort of settled for making converts or getting people to come, when the call is to go and make. And so we did this last year with 2 groups, one on a Thursday night, one on a Tuesday lunchtime, both very, very different groups, and just sort of walked through, who's Jesus, what's he like, what did he do, and looked at various different aspects of his character, and then just really supportively and lovingly trying to be honest about what's stopping us getting there, what's in the way, what's difficult, or being really honest about what's working, and then just trying to hold each other accountable, to things that we want to do and try. And it was just an amazing thing to be part of and to do. So super excited that we're doing it again. Going to be on a Sunday night.
So that's a Sunday night. What's the structure of the evening look like, John? Is it like, you standing in front teaching? Is it around a table? Is it what's it look like?
It's not an evening service. It's more of a sort of a small group in style, but it's got that level of sharing confidentiality, accountability built into it. So we'll open in prayer. I'll open up a subject. We start with the B of blessed stands for being, what it means to be with Jesus, what that looks like for us. So yeah, I'll open up some scripture and share some things, but the bulk of the time is then sharing with others, what does this look like for me? What has it looked like in the past? Is that healthy? Is that helpful? What could it look like? And how do I move from here to there? And then when we come back the next week, we always start with, okay, so we had a discipleship focus from last time that we all decide individually is going to be our focus. How did you get on? How did it go? If you didn't work, say, please don't make stuff up. It's not helpful.
Yeah.
If you didn't get to do it, why not? And let's explore some of that, and just praying and walking with each other through it, because we need that so much. It strikes me that the one person who should be able to speak and we don't forget what he says is God.
Yeah.
And yet how often, do we hear something, share something, be part of something, and it's only by about Wednesday or Thursday we go, oh yeah, we were going to do something. That's right. It's a really weird thing. And so that level of accountability is essential, I think, and exciting when you see it working. So that's kind of the format, really. I know you're going to be running a sort of a youth, what are we calling it, space?
Yeah, youth space. Yeah. So off the back of the blessed kind of curriculum, we're going to be running a little bit of a version with the young people during the same time, exactly the same. We'll start off in the same hall even, and we depending on who we've got and what it looks like and things, we will be very flexible with this. We might move off to a different space so that we can have discussions that are more pertinent to their age groups. Or we'll stay in, and so that we can understand wisdom and knowledge from other people, from like some of that intergenerational work that can go on within churches, which would be great to see. But yeah, so it's just an open opportunity. So I know that for some people, for the last Blessed series, it was very difficult to manage with young children if there were families, like whether the mother or the father was able to attend, which partner or whatever. So just understand now that if you do bring your young people along with you when you come along, they'll be able to come and just meet with me and maybe one of the other leaders, and we'll carry on those discussions. And maybe it's something that can continue at home then as well, where you can grow together as a family, where you've had learning and discussions and things with others around a similar subject, and kind of the conversation continues at home then. So
it'd be brilliant. I'm really excited about that. So we'll start, like you say, we'll start together. The more I think about it, the more I think the Whitchurch Centre is the place to go. I think that it would allow us to really spread out around the hall, and of course the youth room's there right at the back.
We've got the youth room, we've got room 5 as well, if there's anybody who really needs that space, so there's
sorry, it's room 5, sorry,
room 5
room
Rum 5.
Yeah, we won't be serving rum. No,
rum
I'm sorry if you thought there was rum for the first 5 people. There's not. I'm sorry.
Me and John have this dispute.
It's. I think it's you and the rest of the world, isn't it? I don't think it's
Rum 5. So that's what it is. The youth room.
I feel like I'm on a motorbike. So that's blessed. So if you're coming and you're coming, it'd be handy to know, because there's some stuff that we print out that kind of gives an outline of the evening. Use the word curriculum, which I thought was really impressive. We'll use that.
I'm planning curriculums for the young people at the moment, so I call it curriculum internally, and then it just spills out every now and again. It's basically what we're going to look at.
But yeah, so and there's some stuff to scribble down what we feel we want to take away. So it'd be handy to know numbers in terms of the layout of the space and for printing the material. That said.
and for young people as well, it'd be handy to know kind of roughly like numbers and people, just so I know age groups that I'll be working with. And
yeah, that'd be great. So yeah, if you can let us know somehow, there is a very, very simple form on the website that I know, I think about eight or nine people have used, so it's working. So you could do it that way, or just drop me a text, give me a call,
can we put
send
that
me a...
link for that form in the description down below, John?
Oh, see, this is almost like we know what we're doing now.
The description down below.
Yes, we will. We will do that. So that's bless. I'm really looking forward to that. Another thing that's coming up, just to make people aware of, is there's a church members meeting. There's actually an AGM, sorry, and a church members meeting on Wednesday, the 21st of September. And we'd really love people to be thinking and praying, because a key part of that evening is leadership elections. You know, as a church, we believe that God calls people into leadership to be a deacon or an elder among us. And this time as well, we're looking for the role of church secretary, because Ruth has not just done her term of office, it was extended because of COVID. And you know that bit in Lord of the Rings when Elrond says, "We can ask no more of Frodo." I kind of feel like that. I kind of feel Ruth has done her bit and more, and has been tremendous in that role.
Marvelous that work that she's done.
Yeah, we've been really blessed to have her in that role. But the time has come to release her back into her natural habitat. So we need people to be thinking and praying about who the Lord is calling to serve in that role, but also in roles of deaconing, of serving, and roles of elder, if we feel people are called into that. And, you know, as Baptists, we believe that when we come together, we discern the mind of Christ. So it's something for the church to recognise, the call of God to leadership. So please do be thinking and praying about that. If the Lord does lay any names on your hearts, there's this little process. I know Ruth talked through this on Sunday. She'll do a much better job than I will. So if you want to go back and watch the notices from Sunday. But yeah, if you can have a chat to myself or Ruth, will give you a form. And then a couple of people need to sign that who can't be related to the person for obvious reasons.
I was going to say, yeah, I can't be related. No.
Yeah. So I think that's everything. And then those names will be shared with the church to pray through and to vote on. So we don't want that to be a rubber stamping exercise or an incidental thing. It's the call to leadership is a precious thing, and recognizing that gifting others is a precious thing. So yeah, give it some time, please, and thought and prayer. And yeah, if you are led to, then please do speak to me or Ruth.
It's an exciting time. It's an exciting time. There's changes in the church, in the leadership, and things like that, and in the elders, and it's interesting, like, to see the direction that God's taken us in the last few years alone, and to see where God's going to be taking us next, and to see, like you're saying, as the church, we discern the mind of Christ and kind of like understand who should be in that position, and who Jesus wants us to lead us forward.
It is exciting. It's kind of interesting that the people who preached in August, this theme of change came up a number of times through different stories, through very personal stories. But this change is part of life, isn't it? You know, it's and part of discipleship that we should expect to grow. We should expect change. Things are too similar, then we probably stood still for too long. Definitely. Yeah, awesome. And then peeking ahead into October, I know you guys are really excited about running a light party this year.
Yes. So obviously the last few years we've not been able to run a light party. We've done an online alternative, I think, for the last 2 years, where we delivered some gift packs and stuff like that out to people so that they had some light stuff. And we did a YouTube thing. But this year we're hoping to do an in-person light party. I'm not saying we're hoping, we're going to do an in-person light party. I have so many UV lights that we need to do one now. So that will be on Monday the 31st in the evening. as a complete alternative to any Halloween parties that people might get invited to and things like that. We're going to do a light party. We're gonna praise God through the darkness and thank Him for being our light bearer, our light in the darkness in that way. It's going to be a fun evening. There's going to be games. There's going to be craft. There's probably some songs, and we haven't actually fully talked about it. But what I want to do is put a working group together to basically help put this event together. I can't do it alone, neither can John. We really need people who are passionate, and we know that we've got them in the church because we've had these events before. And this is just a rekindling of somebody's gift or somebody's passion. Maybe you've been able to go on the back burner for a little bit, and coming forward for this one event, it would be really great. So we really want to ask people to come forward and get involved. If you can get in contact with me, and then I can put your name down and we can all meet together, be it online or in person, and basically hash out the event and see what we want to do, what games we want to do, what fun things we've got planned for the kids, what's going to really bring that message forward for young people that Jesus can be the light in their lives.
Yeah, awesome. Can I put a request in? And actually, I don't think we've ever told this story. Tim and I have both got daughters that go to the same school, and they had a leavers assembly right back at the end of July. And so, Tim and I sat there watching this leavers assembly with all the other parents that have been invited. And they're telling sort of memories, aren't they, of their time in school?
Yeah. So they were re-establishing memories that had taken place over the last 6 years. They were acting out those things that involved, like reactions to certain stories, different teachers and things like that. And the kids absolutely nailed the characters.
It was brutal. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then suddenly our daughters get up dressed as us and start to do an impression of one of our assemblies, which was just absolutely hilarious. It was just brilliant.
It was spot on as well.
Well, you say spot on. There was one assembly when I took a bit of a back seat, but I came along to run some of the PowerPoint, etc., etc. And they decided to pick on that one occasion. And my daughter, dressed as me, says, Tim's now going to lead us in a song, and I'm going to go and sit over there and look important. I was like, what? But what was amazing was they all start singing My Lighthouse and get like the whole room involved in singing it. And I thought, what a gift to have given that group of young people and that school.
And they so bit of backstory on that. So some of the young people in Halman and Lois's class came to Spree the week before.
They've been great inviters, haven't they?
And they learned My Lighthouse there, and all the actions, lighthouse things. And then they taught it in that week to their friends in class. So and it really did strike it really hit hard for me that one of their memorable events was one of our assemblies where we taught them about the Bible. It was amazing. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and I think it's so exciting at the moment. I think there were a couple of generations ago a whole bunch of people who had some baggage about church or some baggage about faith. For a lot of these kids, what we go and share about Jesus and about his word and his work will be the first and only thing that they hear. And that in some ways is an exciting situation to be in, to be sowing in fresh soil. The potential for that, and we often pray that God will raise up a new generation. And just to be seeing some of that happening, the excitement when the kids walk into the assembly hall and realize that it's you or it's both of us, it's absolutely amazing just to see that reaction, because we're going to talk about Jesus. So it's just brilliant.
Yeah. But that's not to say though, John, that the older generation that we've got coming through the church now are to be forgotten. And in fact, that's some of the work that I'm kind of putting myself forward for at the moment with the Baptist Association. So they've asked me to be the young adults representative from South Wales. I don't know how I got to be a young adult. Apparently it's 18 to 35, so I'm slightly out of that bracket now. But I'm representing and representing the churches from South Wales. So it's an exciting prospect to kind of look at that age bracket, 18 to 35. Maybe a generation that might not be in church at the moment, or we know aren't in church, or why aren't they in church? What are we missing with this group of young adults that we can put forward as a church? Like what activities, what support can we put out there? We talk about the support that we put out for families at the moment with the food bank, with the free food market and things. What support can we put out there for young people? So it's a really interesting kind of area to look at. So I'll have some more once I've come back from the meeting next week, and I'm sure we'll do a podcast specifically just about that. But it's any prayer or anything that'd be really good going into this meeting.
Yeah, awesome, Fab. Well, I think that's everything I had written down on our very detailed plan. There you go.
Mine started out typed and then went written. So
I've even drawn a round table, children youth round table. So awesome. So we'd really value your input, your thoughts, your prayers, your involvement.
I forgot. Sorry, I didn't forget. I just got sidetracked on one.
Forgot to remember,
and then I didn't go back to it. Youth. We are starting youth back. And it is going back to a Friday night, and it will be from the 16th of September, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on a Friday night. We're over in the Whitchurch Centre. We'll have all the games consoles and all the stuff out for you to play with, and just spend time together as a fellowship. There will be a little bit of learning, a little bit of teaching going on, Bible teaching, but very short, very, kind of like depending on who's there and what we cover. But we'll be looking at some stuff, but we just want to create a friendly atmosphere, an alternative for you to go to on a Friday night, where you're not out, you don't have to feel pressured to go out with people doing things that you don't want to be doing. So
amazing. Absolutely amazing. And what age group is that for?
So that is from year 10 to year 13.
Great. Fab. Awesome.
So basically GCSEs to A levels, kind of, or depending on whether you're doing college or not. So GCSEs to whenever you want to leave.
Amazing.
Pretty good.
Also, well, thanks, Tim. I never know how to end these things.
Neither do I.
I kind of feel like we launch them and we go up, and then I just smash them into the side of a mountain by saying I don't know how to end them.
We just kind of keep, because we could potentially just keep going.
Well, that's what we do, isn't it, really? So I guess we should say goodbye.
We should probably say goodbye. Should we? I mean, it might be an idea.
Goodbye. We should probably thank people for listening right to the end, if indeed they still are.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've come away with some new knowledge or some new learning from what we're doing at the moment. If there is anything that you want to get involved in and you don't know what details to contact, please get in touch with the church office. If it's for anything youth and children's work, please get in contact with me. If it's anything about Blessed, get in contact with John.
I just feel like we should have captured that and put it at the end of every service. It was just... That is how you end a podcast right there, isn't it? Call to action. Come on.
Yeah. Brilliant. And then you carried on afterwards. That was a brilliant stop. We could have just ended. We could have just gone,
Indeed, we should have just ended there. No, you're quite right. I'm just going to stop recording, I think. That's the way to stop this.
Bye.